Hey, it's Lee here from Simplify Adulting, and today we are jumping into the topic of imposter syndrome, and we are going to talk about what the heck is it, who gets it, and most importantly, how do you deal with imposter syndrome? Welcome to Simplify Adulting. This is the channel where we try to turn your stress into success and move you from overwhelmed to confidence and clarity. And I guess our biggest goal is to convince you that adulting does not have to suck. Okay, so let's get into imposter syndrome. What is it? Well, I think we've all experienced it. It is that overwhelming feeling, regardless of facts, that somehow you are not competent, capable. I hear it as Lee, who do you think you are to do whatever? Name the thing. And it's that voice, and it is emotion charged. And you can usually have a definite physical sensation with it. Sometimes I feel nervous or jittery. I can feel tense. I can feel just anxious and like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Almost a panic, especially if whatever I'm having an imposter syndrome on, it's like, oh, who am I to get in front of this group of people and speak in public? And I have to go get in front of that group of people and speak in public in about 1 minute. Then I definitely might even break out into a little sweat and I can feel my heart speed up. So that's imposter syndrome. It's this idea, regardless of my experience, regardless of my knowledge, regardless of my skills, that little voice overrides all of that, kicks it out the door, and just says, you're not good enough to do whatever you're about to do. And let's face it, that feeling sucks. And that's why it's so important to talk about imposter syndrome, because we don't have to have that feeling be the feeling that drives our action. And who gets imposter syndrome? Sometimes it's easy to think like, oh, well, somebody like that would not get imposter. They're so good or an expert in their field. Or if I get enough experience, it won't be me. I won't get imposter syndrome anymore. And sorry, it just doesn't work that way. Imposter syndrome is just part of being human. It's going to be part of our human experience as long as we're alive. It's just going to be part of it because it really comes out of that little, caveman brain trying to keep us safe, saying, "Hey, don't don't step outside that comfort zone. Don't take risks. We're doing okay just right here. It may stink, but we're okay." So it tries to convince us. And one of the little levers it pulls and little stories it tells us is this whole imposter syndrome thing. So if someone has told you that they've never experienced that, I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it because it's just part of being human. So, the most important thing about this whole discussion is what do we do to overcome that feeling of imposter syndrome? And that's the first thing is realize it's a feeling because it's not about reality. It's not about your experiences or your actual skills and abilities. It is a story that I'm running in my head and has just taken over. And so the first step is just acknowledge that you have those feelings going on. And a lot of times you'll have the bodily sensations that go with those feelings. It could be, you're tense, you're stressed, maybe even your heart rate goes up a little bit because there's like this feeling of imposter syndrome, like I'm about to be found out. That's really risky for us. That's really risky to feel like we're going to be found out on something. Like they're going to figure out, I shouldn't even be here. Whatever here is, the job, the position, the volunteer, thing that you're doing, it doesn't matter. It just pops up. And so the first thing is just don't resist against it. Just acknowledge like, oh, I got this going on right now. And that is the first step to letting that emotional response let go. And then the real thing then is to go and just take a few minutes to realize this is my experience. Here are the facts. I've done this. I'm qualified. Are you perfect? None of us are. But when you think about your actual skills and abilities, and realize that, hey, wait, I am qualified to talk about this. That imposter syndrome kind of just zips away. And then you can move into an actual move forward position of saying, okay, I'm not going to move forward based on freaking out on imposter syndrome. I'm going to take those couple minutes to jot down my skills, my abilities, my experiences, a couple times of when I've had to deal with or do exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm going to move forward. Because the good thing about it kind of being emotion based, there's some research that says that we experience the average emotion for like 90 seconds. So if we can take like 90 seconds to just first quickly say, well, feeling this way. And then while you're just working through those 90 seconds, just jot down the reality of your skills and your abilities and your experiences in 90 seconds, good chance your imposter syndrome will be done for at least now. So there you go. If you got imposter syndrome, don't let it stop you. And hey, let me know if you've had imposter syndrome. Put something in the comments. Let us know. And if you're interested, please check out in the show notes because we have a link to our Simplify Adulting Starter Kit, which can help you get clarity, confidence, and navigate whether it's your career, your money, and all those adulting responsibilities. And believe me, you've got more experience, more skills, and abilities than you know you have when it comes to adulting. So check out our starter kit and kick your imposter syndrome to the curb. Thanks.